Hey, and welcome back to the Methodical Marketer's Guide to Greatness. I am Zia, and today's episode is for anyone who's ever sat wondering, is my marketing even working? I feel like I'm doing quite a lot of those kinds of episodes, but honestly, there are these little fundamental building blocks that you need to have in place to gauge and to measure the effectiveness of your marketing. And you know that feeling that when you've done the Canva graphics and you've posted and boosted, maybe even like dabbled in a bit of ads, and then you're waiting and you watch the likes, you maybe get some clicks, but you still don't really know if what you're doing is actually making a difference, and or if you're just like throwing money out the door. I've been there, honestly. I know a lot of us have. And I think one of the biggest reasons why marketing feels so overwhelming, especially when you're a small business owner without a full team, is because we don't always know what success actually looks like. And we're trying to measure it using like surface level stuff, followers, or how it felt when you saw all the stuff coming in. But like, here's the thing. There's actually a real simple number that can help you get some clarity through all of this. And it's one of those fundamental building blocks. And it's not fancy, and it doesn't need a spreadsheet. But personally, once I learned this, I really stopped overthinking every single decision because it gave me a lot of direction. And that number is called customer lifetime value. So before I explain what customer lifetime value actually is, I think let's talk about the chaos for a second. Marketing is hard to measure when you're not sure what you're aiming for. And when you're a small business owner, or if you're a solopreneur, you're a team of one, every single euro that you spend feels personal. Because, you're not just making a decision for your marketing budget, you're making a decision for your grocery budget as well. And then things don't immediately convert. So you start questioning everything. Should I have run that ad? Was the discount too much? Should I have just kept posting for free instead? It really is exhausting. And it's made worse by the fact that nobody's ever really taught us how to evaluate whether our marketing is working or not, until I came across the concept of customer lifetime value. Now, what is customer lifetime value? Now, customer lifetime value, or CLV for short if you're trying to sound fancy, is a way to estimate what one customer is worth to your business over time. It's not just the first time they buy from you, but over the whole course of the relationship that you guys have together. Every repeat business, every referral, every time they come back for something new, it's real value that relationship creates. And when you start looking at your marketing decisions through that lens, things do get a whole lot clearer. So here's a super simple formula that you can use to calculate your CLV, your customer lifetime value. It's your average order value times the purchase frequency, like how often they purchase from you, times the customer lifespan. Now, let's break that down with an example. You're a nutritionist and you charge €100 per session. Your average client books 5 sessions over 6 months, for example. We're keeping the math simple. That's 100 times 5, which is €500. And that's your customer lifetime value for that kind of client. Or maybe you're a dog groomer and you charge €45 per appointment, and your regular client comes in every 6 weeks for about 8 times a year. Most of your clients stay with you for 2 years. So we have all 3 elements of the equation. That's 45 times 8 times 2, which is €720. Now, suddenly spending €50 on a local ad or a first visit discount actually makes sense. You're not losing money. You're actually investing in someone who would be worth over €700 to your business. Like, CLV is just a different way to look at it, and it's a more useful way to look at your numbers. Now, when I learned this, I'll be honest, I had one of those facepalm moments because I realized I'd been undervaluing a lot of what I was doing. I'd get one sale and feel unsure whether to keep actually pushing that offer or not. Or I'd launch something, get a few early buyers, and then stall because I wasn't sure if it was actually working. But when I sat down and I did the math on my own CLV, it changed everything. I realized that some of my clients actually come back from multiple sessions, and other bought one service and then joined an email list, then joined a workshop or bought a product. And they weren't just once-off buyers. They were long-term relationships. And once I could see that, once I could see the big picture, I gave myself permission to spend money on ads that didn't convert immediately because I understood the long-term return. I also stopped underpricing certain offers because I knew that those clients were worth much more beyond the first sale. And I started focusing more on retention because I finally understood how valuable it was to keep the right people around. Now, what can you do with this information for this week? If you're listening to this and you're wondering where do you even start, here's what I suggest. Pick 3 clients or customers you've loved working with, and then go look at how much they spent. How often did they come back, and how long have they been with you? Now, you don't need perfect data. This isn't a math test. You just need a rough idea of the numbers. And then you do the math. You have the average spend times how often times how long. And once you have that number, even if it's rough, like I said, you got to ask yourself, am I doing enough to attract more people like this client? What would I be willing to spend to bring in someone like this again? And is my current marketing helping me find the right people or just more people? And this is the kind of stuff that gives your marketing some weight, that turns chaos into context. And no, it's not going to give you all the answers, but it gives you a good starting point. And it gives you a place to build from. And honestly, that's everything when you're trying to grow something real. So that's what I wanted to share today. Customer lifetime value, or CLV. You now know another marketing jargon term. And it's the one number that really helped me stop guessing everything. And if it's something you want to explore more, I actually wrote a whole blog post on it with examples, with the formula, and a bit more backstory. So you can find it on my website at ziareddy.com. And later this week, I'm actually going to be sharing a free cheat sheet to help you calculate your CLV. And you can use it in your business. So keep an eye out for that. Or you can sign up for the newsletter on my website to receive it in your inbox. And as always, thank you for being here. And if this episode made something click for you, please message me. I love hearing what people learn and what people think of what I create and what you're working through. Chat soon.